and good morning to everybody on this wonderful Sunday morning. この素晴らしい日常の朝に皆さんおはようございます。I am Kamishiro Taishi, and I am well, it's a bit weird to say it myself, but I'm a professional. I'm a professional Japanese to English light novel and manga translator, and I am here today, as I am every week, to do a live translating stream. It's my hope that you will have a good time, and if you like the series, that you would serve as a fun sneak peek. And for those of you who are just watching because it's a translation thing, I hope you learned something, or otherwise, I just hope you have a good time. Yep, alright, let us get started. 早速始めたいと思います。Oh shit, I forgot to look up. Nope, never mind. We are gonna need this today because I forgot to check how to read everything beforehand. Usually I check it. Today I was in the middle of something. I was almost in the middle. I was almost done with this, and so I forgot. It slipped my mind. Sorry about that. Nahaha. All right. 早速始めましょう. Bring my dictionary back over. Go. 持論だが、男は誰でも可愛い女の子のピンチにかっこよく駆けつけた欲求を抱いている。持論。This was a pet theory of me. I can't speak. Pet theory of mine was that all guys dreamed of誰でもall guys dreamed of かっこよく駆けつける arriving in the nick of time to save a cute girl. No. Okay, let's look at this. A pet theory of mine was that all guys embraced dreams. All guys dreamed of being able to arrive. All guys dreamed of saving a cute girl. A pet theory of mine was that all guys dreamed of. So up to here is fine. Dreamed of. Let's do a different way to let's try a different way of arranging this sentence. All guys dreamed of, and so we said it's all right for here, of saving a girl. Dreamed of themselves saving a cute girl in the nick of time. Had entertained dreams of themselves saving a cute girl in the nick of time. Much better. So, 持論, right? So, 持論 is a pet theory. 持論だが, so again, in Japanese, there's no subject, so it doesn't say whose 持論 it is, right? But obviously, this is the narrator's one, so it's just pet theory of mine, right? 男は誰でも, so all guys, かわいい. So again, this sentence, the structure is completely different between Japanese and English, right? ピンチにかっこよく駆けつける、saving a cute girl from a crisis. Let's look if there's a better word for crisis. ピンチ. Obviously, we are not going to just use pinch, right? From an from trouble, from a pick. I guess technically that's an English thing. It feels a bit weird to use it in English though. From a predicament. From dire straits. whatever, we'll leave it as crisis for now. Think about it later. 体力も気力も底をつき、武器は壊れ、膝をついた女の子が敵にとどめを刺されるまさにその瞬間、その直前、かっこよく割り込んで敵をぶっ飛ばす。Right when the girl is on her knees, her stamina depleted, and her weapon broken, with the enemy just about to deliver the final blow. Right when the girl is on her knees, her stamina depleted, and her weapon broken, with the enemy just about to deliver the final blow. Okay, this doesn't work. Because this is the sentence structure in Japanese here. And かっこよく割り込んで敵を and then we arrive, and coolly arrive, and kick the enemy's ass. But then that doesn't really work in English, because we need something oomph. So here we're just gonna go bam. He arrives. He slides between. Warikomu. Is there a different word for warikomu? Warikomu. He cuts in. He thrusts. He wedges himself in. He thrusts himself in between. Yeah, he thrusts himself in between and sends the enemy flying. Take your buttobas. Buttobas. Yeah, I think that's enough. Right when the girl is on her knees, her stamina depleted, and her weapon broken, with the enemy just about to deliver final blow, bam! He thrusts himself in between and sends the enemy flying. そして肩越しに振り返って言うのだ。Then he turns only his head around and says over his shoulder, 肩越し right? Says over his shoulder, 待たせたな。もう大丈夫だ。Is this a meme? Can I meme this? I've kept you waiting. Everything is fine now. We need to work on this. Good job hanging in there. Everything is fine now. You're in good hands. Oh, hey, Fusion. Thanks for watching. I want to add a them after the in-between. He thrusts himself in between. I don't know, man. I feel like it's technically not grammatically incorrect, right? And I don't want to add... I suppose it'd be more correct, grammatically speaking. But I don't want to add an extra subject in there because I feel like that destroys the flow. But that's just the way I see it. Usually I would let the editor decide whether to put it in or not. If the editor said yes, put a them in there, and I'll just be like, okay, sure, whatever. I personally like it better without the them. But okay, so matasetana. So matasetana means I've kept you waiting. So that's the literal translation, right? This is one of those examples where we might not necessarily want a direct translation. if it's in English, like we did it just now, like I've kept you waiting. That doesn't sound so good. That doesn't sound so cool in English. I personally think it works better like this. You know, just toss in a little bit of recognition to the girl to make her feel better, right? I suppose. Clearly, I'm one of those guys who has dreamed of this. And it just, nah, never happens. もう大丈夫。Everything is fine now. すると、女の子は泣き笑いして返す。Then the girl returns. Then the girl smiling through her tears. 泣き笑い. So this is crying through her tears. Laughing while crying. Smiling through her tears. Yeah, so it's more smiling rather than laughing. She's not like crying. And then she I don't know. That's probably something else. Smiling through her tears. Returns with, "You're late." Baka. Shit. Should I do this? This would be so cringy. Fuck. I feel really tempted to do it. You're late, stupid. Nope. Because this is a fan's translation, because I'm not doing it for any publisher, I'm gonna leave it like this. Ah, ダメだ。好き。想像しただけでもらえる。I think baka is pretty recognizable. Thanks. I mean, it is, but it's the sort of thing where, like, I feel like it's recognizable, but I definitely wouldn't dare to use it with proper publishers. They'll definitely, like, the editor will definitely be like, "What is baka?" And I'll be like, "Okay, fine, it's not an English word, sure." Ah, damn it. Ugh. Oh, shit. No. Oh, man. Just thinking about it. Damera, ski. Nah, I love it too much. I love it too much. Fuck, I love it too much. Just imagining it. It's making me. This is so bad. This is so bad. No, this is very, very bad. This is very, very bad. But we're gonna work on this and make this better. ダメだ。好き。No, I can't handle this. Oh man, I love it so much. I can't handle it. Just thinking about it. もだえる. Let's see if we can get a better one for もだえる. Writhing. It is writhing. This is the direct translation, so it's not wrong per se, but it sounds weird as F. So let's look for writhe. Squirm. This is supposed to be something happy though. This is supposed to be something positive. So like when you're writhing, normally like you saw the dictionary, it says in pain, right? In agony. So that's a negative thing. But we want something positive here because modai is like thinking about it is like it's so fun. Like that sort of modai is just thinking about it is getting me excited. Just thinking about it is getting me look for a different word for excited then. Thrilled. Just thinking about it is getting me thrilled. I don't know about that, man. Moved, roused, fired up. Juiced up. Just thinking about it is getting me nope. Stoked. I suppose we have to do that. Go with that. So again, it's one of those examples where we're not translating directly. I feel like we don't need examples of that anymore because that's just basically what happens all the time, right? Direct translations are rarely what you want. They are rarely the best option. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. But more often than not, they are not. しかし、残念ながら現実にはそういうシチュエーションはまず発生しない。問題は2つ。安全性とタイミングだ。However, sadly, situations like that do not happen in reality, in real life. 問題は2つ。There are two reasons why. 安全性、so safety and timing. いつかトウカちゃんも言っていたが、ピンチから救うためにはピンチになってもらわなければいけない。As Toka-chan had put it before, in order to save someone from a crisis, that person needs to be in a crisis. とどめを刺される直前に割り込むということは、ほんの一瞬遅れればとどめが刺されてしまうということだ。Thrusting, sliding in, arriving right before the final blow is delivered means that if that blow would have been delivered, if you were a split second late. Let me see. Arriving right before the final blow is delivered means that that blow would have been delivered if you were a split second late. Okay, let me see if we can sort of touch this up and make this a little less wordy. I'm pretty satisfied with it right now. Means that if you were a split second late, that blow would have been delivered. Would have actually landed. Yeah, okay, that's better. That's a little less repetitive. I'm trying to learn Japanese. It seems like a hard language to have many meaningful direct translations with the severe grammatical differences. Good luck. Good luck is all I can say, man. I'm always very, very happy to hear about people learning Japanese. and I'm always very welcome to that. And but it is a language that's very, very different from English. Very, very different. As we keep seeing, the way the sentence is arranged and structured is sometimes it's totally different. So you do have a long road ahead of you, I'm afraid. But one benefit is that there's a lot of material to consume. That's the way I learned Japanese, right? I learned Japanese through anime, basically, just anime and then light novels. Like, and I'm the kind who cannot sit down and just study something for hours and hours and days and days and months. I cannot do that. I need hands-on experience with something. I need to actually touch something and struggle with it personally. And so for me, it was a great boon that there was so much anime. Just consume the shit and immerse yourself in it. That's the way I do it. So that's sort of the way how I overcame the different grammatical differences and all the sentence weirdness, because I just internalized it directly. But this is not really something I would recommend for people because it took me ages. It took me like 10 years to do this. It's not something I would recommend. And I don't really know how to advise people who are just sitting down and actually learning it, because that's not what I went through. But yeah, there's that for you, I suppose. If you're the type who sits down and learns it, okay, that's not what I wanted to do. If you're the type that sits down and learns, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to also immerse yourself somewhat to some degree. Read the anime. My God. Read the light novels. Watch the anime. It's great that there's so much of that stuff, right? So there's stuff in every genre, so you can enjoy whatever you want. That's all I have to say to that. But more power to you, Fusion. And if you ever need any help, just feel free to reach out. My Discord is, it's on the page and everything. All right, moving on. シャレにならない。Okay. Short sentences sometimes are good, sometimes they're bad. When you can directly translate them, then they're good. They're just like, boom, done. They're bad when they're very, very Japanese. Let me think about this. シャレにならない。Out of the question. The direction. And that's entirely out of the question. Let's do that, I suppose. シャレにならない。Okay, this is a quick one. Yeah. 常識的に考えても、常識的に考えて、そもそもピンチにならない状況を作るのが当然だ。Thinking about it, from a logical standpoint, not getting into a crisis is the best strategy. 常識的に考えて thinking about it, so 常識的, ordinary, sensible, commonplace. Thinking about it from a logical standpoint, it's close enough. It works better like this. そもそも, so in the first place, not getting in a crisis. In the first place. ピンチにならない状況を作る. So creating a situation where you are not in a pinch. Again, that directly, that does not make sense. You cannot create a situation where you are not in trouble. Trouble just happens to you. So, not getting into trouble. There we go. That makes more sense in English. を作るのが当然だ is natural. So this is as a matter of course, reasonable. So let's just go with the best strategy. So not getting into trouble is the best strategy. 期待してはいないシチュエーションなのである。期待してはいけないシチュエーションなのである。Okay, there we go. So it was This was a situation that you are not supposed to be hoping for. Yep. 期待してはいけない. So you're not supposed again. So いけない so not いかない right? So it's all the whole I don't know what you call this いけない. But basically means it doesn't mean 期待してはいけない means you cannot, like you're not allowed to expect it, anticipate it, hope for it. So hope for it. So there we go. いけない situation なのである. There we go. 仮にそういうシチュエーションが発生したとしても、今度はタイミングの壁が立ちはだかる。Even in the off chance that such a situation crops up. So 発生 means all this stuff. It means to sort of occur, to happen. But in English, it's probably just better to go with crops up. It makes it instead of something happening, something cropping up sounds more active, right? It's something happening is a very passive way of saying it. But here we want a little bit more oomph, so we want it to be crops up. It's an actual active verb. 今度はタイミングの壁が立ちはだかる。You now have to deal with the timing of it. Timing, even if it crops up, timing would still be a problem. Still be a problem. 状況にもよるが、到着1秒単位で調整しないといけないのだ。This depends on the situation itself, but depending on the situation. Okay, that's better. Depending on the situation, you might need 調整 to adjust. I don't want adjust. I want match. Something that's like matching timing. Fired match. Nope. Because it's two things at the same time. So match counterpart. You need to. I need a verb. Why is this not a verb? It's still not a verb. Come on, screw you. Noun. Verb. Oh, for those who don't know, Word Hippo is sort of like thesaurus.com is my go-to just because it's thesaurus.com. And I like the interface better. But when you don't get a good one when you don't get a good what do you call those synonyms that when you don't get a good synonym that you want from thesaurus, you can also check out Word Hippo, which has a lot more. This is like the master synonym thesaurus thingy. But there's so much. It's a pain to sort of go through. So I do this as a go-to, and then if you need a better one, this is where I go. Where was I? There we go. Sorry about that. Just messing with the microphone a little bit. It was in my way. You might need to. Do I really use the word adjust? Adjust. in 1 second intervals. In intervals of mere seconds. Not quite sure on the whole, let's just do that. And I don't like the repetitiveness of this, so timing, measure, proceed, calibrate. Yep. I don't like it, but I can't be bothered to. I can't think of anything good for it right now. I don't have like a good idea of what I want to put in to get a synonym, and I might just completely reword the sentence later on. So I'm just gonna highlight it and leave it for later. Here we are. 早めに助けに入ればそれはドラマチックさに欠ける普通の造園だし、遅ければ手遅れになるシビアなのだ。If you arrive too early, then it's not dramatic, and you're just the reinforcement. You're just normal reinforcement. You're just it's not dramatic, and you're just normally joining the fight. If you arrive too late, well, you're too late. It's really razor thin line. So if you arrive, 早めに助けに入れば, if you arrive too early to help, but we don't need to write to help in English because it's obvious. 早くドラマチックさに欠ける. It's not dramatic, 普通の造園, and you're just normally joining the fight. You saw me sort of wrestling with the word reinforcement, but I feel like it's better to just break it down because we're trying to make it sound less cool. Because here the whole idea is if you arrive early, it's not dramatic and it is blah, right? So we want this to sound not cool. We want it to sound like just like normal, just straight, just blah. So instead of using a cool word like reinforcement, which is a cool word because it's a long word, right? When someone reads a long word, it has a little bit of a cool factor. At least that's the way I see it. That's a pet theory of mine. So instead of doing that, we just break it down and use normal words. And then if you arrive too late, 遅ければ手遅れになる. Hey Al, hi, why are you awake? You should be asleep. No, I mean, it's 10 p.m. I suppose. When I see you, I always think you should go to sleep because you never sleep. But hi, thanks for tuning in. If you arrive too late, 遅ければ, if you're late, 手遅れ, then you're too late. So, a fun way of putting that is if you arrive too late, well, you're too late. So this well is sort of a fun way of doing that. Shibuya. So clearly this means this is a gairaigo. This is a word that the Japanese borrowed from English. It's a loan word. There we go. Gairaigo means loan word. Of the word severe. First in the list over there. Hold on. But obviously it completely screws up your grammar and everything. So we're not going to use it as is. A razor thin line is what we're going with instead. So it means like it's very severe. What I mean by that is like it's really tough. Like it's really hard to do. It's really hard to do. It's sort of what it means, right? So there we go. That's a more elegant way of saying it's really hard to do. だから現実は大抵普通に余裕を持って増員に来て稼する。駆けつけたが間に合わず手遅れだったのどちらかになる。つらい。This is why in real life it's mostly either just you arrived with plenty of time to spare and 普通に余裕を持って、arrive with plenty of time to spare、増員に来て稼する and just help to fight. Or you didn't make it in time and or by the time you got there 駆けつけたが間にyou got there by the time you got there it was too late. It's either just this or this. It's a bit repetitive, these two sentences. This and this are a bit repetitive, but you know, that's what the source text does, and it's different enough. I'm gonna leave it in there. つらい pain つらいI would change this out later, but you know, whatever. Let's leave that in there for now. 買い物に行って会計の時に財布見て1円足りないとか、テストで10秒時間が足りなくて問題解けなかったとか、逆にやばいと思った案件が早めに来たヘルプのおかげで余裕で終わったとか、ルイージの経験は誰でもしたことがあるだろう。買い物に行って、For example, you went to the store, but you were a cent short. 1円足りない。So 1円足りない。I could just do like 1 yen, right? But I feel like it's usually I like to keep in the yen, but here it's just a saying, so you know, it's probably more fun. It's probably more stupid. The reader can probably get the stupidity of this when it's just like 1 fucking cent. It's like 1 fucking, and you have to go put it back, and you have to take it. Well, if the store is good, they'll take it for you, and they'll be like, okay, then you don't want this, right? Okay, fine, we'll put it back later. It's happened to me. Clearly, it's happened to me. Or you were taking a test, and 10秒時間が足りなくて問題を解けなかったとか、you couldn't solve the problem because you needed 10 more seconds. The proctor told you to put down your pencil 10 seconds before you solved that last question. Like this too, right? This is like fuck you, this too, right? the last second. Oh god, this is triggering me so much. The text that I'm translating is triggering me so fucking badly. 逆にやばいと思った案件が早めに来た。ヘルプのおかげで余裕で終わったとか。On the other hand, maybe you had a task that you didn't think you were going to complete, but then someone came to help and you totally finished it with time to spare. Pencils down. I see you in the corner with them down. Fuck! Ah! So triggered. Hi, Muchi Dupalon. Oh god, I'm so triggered right now. It makes it worse. This was not in the source text, right? It's just like you couldn't solve the problem because you were missing 10 seconds. I feel like this makes it worse because this is the last fucking question. You were going to ace this fucking test, but no, it's the last question. So I feel like here I'm taking a little bit of liberty with the text, adding my own thing, just to convey this feeling that the author is trying to convey. 逆にやばいと思った。So, or on the other hand, maybe you had a task you didn't think you were going to complete. やばいと思った案件. So, 案件 could be like a thing, it's a task you were going to complete. You had a thing, you thought you were in trouble, you were in trouble with a thing. Yeah, I think it is better. Task you didn't think you were going to complete. 早めに来たヘルプのおかげで、game arrived earlier than you had expected to help out. おかげで余裕で終わったと。And you totally finished it with time to spare. 類似な経験は誰でもしたことがあるだろう。I'm sure anyone has had experiences like these. I feel like I should not be staying or else be spoiled. Hey, if you enjoyed the stream, that's all that matters. Thanks for coming. さて、今回トーカちゃん&クリスの女子チームが先行してボス戦に入り、そこに男子チームが遅れて駆けつける形になっている。So then, it's time. トーカちゃん、we had トーカちゃん and Chris. Arriving first and kicking off the boss fight. With the guys team, we had the girls team and the guys team. Girls team. So why I did that instead of using the names is because if we use the names here, we'd have to use the names here, and that's a lot of names in the same sentence. We don't want that. Guys team arriving later. Okurete, being later and arriving later. Yeah, I think that. Arriving later down the line. The guys team arriving later. I don't want to sort of overly specify how much later and all that, like sort of like later, like down the line, or later, a bit later, something like that, because it's not clarified in the source text, and we don't know either. We had Google, come on. 可愛い女の子のピンチにかっこよく駆けつける絶好のシチュエーションだ。This was the perfect setup for the guys arriving just in time to save the girls from a crisis. This was the perfect setup for the guys to arrive just in time to save the girls from a crisis. I guess something like that. が、やはりタイミングがまるで合っていない。However, the timing was almost completely off. あらかじめ決めておいたボス骨くんのスペックをそのまま発揮した場合、男子チーム到着前に女子チームは全滅するだろう。If I was to go with the boss's originally planned specs, the girls team would get wiped ages before the guys got there. Arakajime, so this is ahead of time. Kimete oita decided ahead of time, so it's originally planned. Specs. So boss hone, so boss bone boss dude. Haki is to demonstrate, to manifest. If the boss was to manifest the specs that we had originally planned for it, is that better? If the boss was to manifest the specs that we had originally planned for it, I think I like this better because this sort of implies more. What's that word for it? It implies that Sago has more control. This is more of a passive. This is a more of a passive way of saying it. The boss manifesting the specs. But you know, we all know it's Sago sort of manipulating the boss. So let's go with that instead. ボス骨も世界の闇の足運だから設定上男子チームが到着した頃には女子チームは倒され、むさぼり食われて死んでいることになる。Setting was that this boss was also a mutant, world shadow, also a world shadow mutant. So when the guys arrive, they would find the girls dead and devoured by the boss. So sad. So sad. Okay, thanks for dropping by, L. Have fun. Yes, for light novels. 男子チームは古代遺跡の中を全力疾走し、階段を2段飛ばして駆け上がっているが、どんそくクソ雑魚、口の宮は足引っ張り、がっつり到着予定地を怒らせている。The guys' team was running through the ancient ruins at their top speed and leaping up stairs, 2 at a time. But this is all the roast. Don't slow-footed. Trash. Let's list out all the roast. Slow-footed, right? He calls him slow-footed. Kuso zako. Let me see if there's funny one. Kuso zako. I feel like this word has already sort of entered English medium a bit thanks to all the YouTubers, right? Yes, shitty. Kusozako. Yeah, look at all this. It's all this VTubers. Shitty. Namekuji. So this is a slug. And it's just Miyama. So the shitty slow-footed slug Miyama. Ga ashi o hippari. You know what we can do? We can crack out the a certain thing. A certain shitty slow-footed slug was dragging them down, causing their arrival to be greatly delayed. I like using the a certain thing every once in a while. I don't know. I just find it funny. So in the source text it actually says Miyama, but we would get this, which I feel like isn't as good as this. Letting the reader connect the dots themselves is a bit more fun, I feel like. Okay, last paragraph. Let's do this. 仕方ないので無理やり男子チームの到着を間に合わせることにした。No other choice. Was no other choice but to forcibly make the guys arrive in time. だらけない程度に先頭を引き伸ばし、だらけない。That involved making the fight drag on as long as possible without it being だらける without it feeling dull. Dull. 本来なら枝分かれしている道を自身の崩落で塞いで不自然ではない程度に一本道に近づけ involve making a fight drag on as long as possible without it feeling dull and using earthquakes to seal off branches. Cave branches. Without it feeling unnatural. To create to create, to get as close as possible. Way back. Okay, this is a sentence that we will definitely need to break up and think about later on, but we will leave it for now. 壁を崩し、ショートカットルートを用意したり、罠を経年劣化で故障しているということにしたり。Wait, feeling dull. Okay, so this is a long list, huh? Using earthquakes to seal off as many as possible. Wait, feeling natural. Make a one-way path. Making walls crumble. To reveal shortcuts. And making traps break down due to aging. So I don't like this because we're doing two making and breaking traps with age. with deterioration with age. Having traps, I feel like this makes enough sense in English because I'm putting it in quotes, so it's sort of like age. I was making air quotes just now, if you couldn't tell. Yep, I feel like that's all right. とにかく男子がピンチにかっこよく駆けつけられるように調整する。世話がかかる。Whatever it took. とにかく。Somehow or another. Somehow or another. Somehow or other. I had to arrange things so that the guys could arrive just in time to save the girls. Me work for this. 世話がかかる。Yep, I think I will go with this. He's a little bit like annoyed at this. So yeah, 世話がかかる. So it means like making me look after them, you know. かかる. All right, I'll leave this for this, and then we will just call it quits for today. This is it for today. I could hear the air quotes. Thank you. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for joining. As always, this chapter will be up on the website next Saturday, so look forward to it. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.